Selling on Etsy is a bit like baking a cake. If you don't have the right recipe, you can be certain that your cake will end up looking like this. In reality, Etsy and baking is all about making sure you choose the best ingredients and you follow the recipe step by step to get the right results at the right time. In this video, I'm going to share with you my exact strategy that allowed me to generate $100,000 in 1 year on Etsy. But beside that, I'm also about to share with you the profit I generated. And that is something not many Etsy sellers do. Because talking about revenue only and not the profit is a bit misleading, simply because if your costs are higher than the revenue you generated, you basically have $0 left in your pockets. So I know a lot of you might need some kind of proof to be sure that I'm not coming up with this number and pretending I actually generated this revenue. So I have here my company tax return. That is an official document that my accountants created on my behalf, showing the exact revenue and profit I generated for the previous tax year. Just to let you know, that is not something you can fake simply because I could end up in a lot of trouble with my country's tax agency. So on page 2, you're able to find what's called the total turnover from trade. That is your company's tax revenue. And right below, you can find the trading profits. For this tax year, my company's revenue was £91,951, which is equivalent to about $105,000. But as I said, revenue is nothing if your profit is so low that you're not able to actually receive money from your company. So let's take a look at the profit for this year. From £91,000, I managed to profit £62,000, which is about $72,000. Can you believe it? $72,000 only from selling on Etsy. That puts things into perspective and hopefully it shows you the kind of results you could be getting in your Etsy shop too. Now, I want to be clear on one thing, and it is that having 70% profit will be easier to achieve if you sell specific products on Etsy. And I'm referring to digital products. When you sell digital downloads on Etsy, the costs associated are extremely low. I'm mainly talking about Etsy fees and software fees like Canva, for example. The lower your product costs, the more profit you make. It's as easy as that. So now let's jump into the step-by-step recipe you can follow as well, so you can get the same results. If selling on Etsy is like baking a cake, then you're gonna need one of the most important ingredients, the real foundations, the flour, and that is market research. So, I think I have an idea of a product that I want to add to my Etsy shop. I actually created it for myself. I found it useful, so I'm guessing maybe other people might find it useful as well. No, I'm not really sure. I might give it a go. When you're selling on a marketplace like Etsy, it's really important to not only assume and think that your product is in demand, but you want the confirmation of how high the demand is. If you're selling something that no one is interested in and no one is searching for, you can have the best products and even the best SEO, you just won't succeed. Because your job as a Etsy seller is all about linking your customers' demand with your listings. So when it comes to market research and demand research, there's a few tools I used. The first one is Sales Samurai, which allows you to search for your main keywords and see the type of competition and demand you can get. On top of this, I could only recommend you use Allura, which gives you an estimate of the revenue the listings in this niche are actually doing. This helps me go from what I believe is true about my market to actual facts, real data that I can then use to set up realistic goals. I also use this market research to help me identify what is already working on the platform so I can get inspired and create products similar to these bestsellers. Then once I had these foundations clear in my mind, I focused on the ingredient that would help me hold the whole cake together, SEO optimization. This part is obviously crucial when you sell on a platform like Etsy, because if you don't make sure to use the actual terms your customers are using, you can be sure that not many people will find your products. For SEO optimization, I like to start with eRank because it's very intuitive and it gives you a general idea of the engagement you can expect to get for each keyword. Once again, I think that Allura is also a great addition to this, so you can check the keywords used in the best-selling products. So SEO is definitely a process. It requires a lot of dedication for you to always try new keywords, always be experimenting, and that is not easy. But I think what might help is to consider it more as a game where you're trying to find the next piece of the puzzle that will make your whole listing better. It's a fun game.
But then our cake would not be finished without the ingredients that will make people devour it: the flavor, the products. It's crucial for you to spend time on perfecting your products, making sure that they're always the best possible for your audience. You can do so by watching videos your audience likes to watch, or by reading posts on forums where your customers like to spend time on. At this point, the most important thing you can do is put yourself in your customers' shoes and be on the lookout for the next big thing they would be interested in. But there was one last ingredient I forgot to add.
So, I have opened my Etsy shop a few months ago now. I'm really happy with it. I mean, I have views, I have some sales. I don't know, I just wish I had a bit more, I guess.
Patience. That is the main ingredient that you need when selling on Etsy. You see, when you start something new, whether it is baking, playing piano, selling on Etsy, you have this boost in dopamine. Your brain is constantly on the lookout for ways to make the experience better and to make you better. But the reality is you soon discover that to perfect anything, you need dedication, commitment, and hard work. And that might be the exact situation you are in right now, and possibly the reason why you're watching this video. Well, let me tell you something. If I had to show you where you are right now on a graph, this is where you would be. You are one step away from your objectives, from finally hitting your goals. This is the time and place where many Etsy sellers quit, right before the increase that make all the hard work and sweat worth it. But if you're watching this video, I know you're not a quitter. I know you will keep going, you'll keep experimenting, keep trying new things until that thing, that product that finally generates the money you've always dreamed of. If you follow my exact recipe, making money on Etsy will finally be at the tip of your fingers. There is one next step, and that is making sales every day. Watch this video next to discover all my tips to help you make multiple sales on a daily basis.